dealer for details.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
From last team in the 12-team playoff to now being favored to be one of the last two football teams standing, the U is officially back.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man, your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. We're officially back as well. It is your boy Theo Dorsey, and oh my, how I've missed this right here, this connection that we've been having here on Theoretically Speaking. Happy New Year to you. It is now January 2nd, a Friday, and it is a beautiful Friday as I sit out here in Palm Beach Gardens right outside of the SoFi Center ahead of a TGL Friday match alongside my brother C-Katt, Christian Cat, who's not on the other side of the glass on the ones and the twos, but we start 2026 actually on the other side of some palm trees in this area that they lovingly call, what do they call this area again?
The porch.
There's a word for it. It's
Chaminade.
not the porch. It's not. There's a word for it. I'm going to figure that out later. But if you haven't experienced this outside of TGL, outside
Esplanade.
of SoFi Center, it's okay. We're going to get it right here. There's tents up. There are activations where you can actually play a little virtual golf yourself. There's a little cornhole or bags, whatever you want to call it. There's Connect Four, which, by the way, I think I'm in the top 5% of Americans. Maybe even I wouldn't say globally because people are great in other countries at weird things, but top 5% of Americans at Connect Four. I'm an absolute demon when it comes to the CFOs. And yeah, so many other things. There's a virtual board right here. I haven't even seen this. This is my first TGL match of this new season. This is about the third activation we've had so far with TGL. And I'm excited to be here, C-Katt, but I'm more excited because I also have some big news to share with the good people.
We are outside of the SoFi Center, which is aptly named the Promenade.
The Promenade.
Yeah,
the Promenade.
I knew there was a little bit of a pronunciation of an odd. I said Chaminade, as in the high school. But no, this is the Promenade.
Yeah, you said Chaminade because you got Jeremiah Smith on your mind because he has Miami on his mind. You know, today the transfer portal is officially wide open.
You
like
thinking
the portal.
you're going to hear his name in the next couple hours?
I don't.
It's 2,000 or more, or there's more than 2,000 athletes currently in the college football transfer portal. There's a non-zero chance his name could be one of those names.
I'm going to continue to confidently speak this into existence. I don't know all of the minutia. I'm not inside college football enough to know, like, okay, the first window opens here and then closes here, and the second window is here and closes here. I would assume with Jeremiah Smith, he doesn't need to be a day one enter the transfer portal guy because if he enters, he knows exactly where he's going to go, which would be Miami. I would assume with him, he wouldn't do it until whatever, like the latest possible date. Okay. Especially he would probably want to wait until after the playoffs are over with because he likely wouldn't. It would just look terrible. It would look terrible if he did
the
it
team that
this
just beat you, KD going to the Warriors.
And this is the one caveat I want to give people because I've been one of the loudest people banging the drum for this, and it doesn't come out of thin air. This is something that has been flirted with and talked about since before the season even kicked off. The not the likelihood, but the chances that JJ could end up returning to South Florida to finish his collegiate career, which is already storied. He's already considered maybe the greatest generational wide receiver prospect ever.
Already won with Ohio State.
Yeah, he's already won a national championship with Ohio State, which is what makes it even easier for him to make that transition if he wanted to. And, of course, the U being back, one of the final four teams in the CFB 12-team playoff. That makes it possible. We're going to get to all the football of this all because I don't want to make this all about the offseason before Miami finishes the season. But I will say the caveat that makes this not necessarily KD to the Warriors is, number one, Ohio State did not lose because of Jeremiah Smith. Miami won in spite of him because the only thing working for OSU in that Sugar Bowl was in that Cotton Bowl was the Miami Hurricanes not being able to stop Jeremiah Smith. Whenever they threw him the ball, he caught it, and it was a big play.
Yeah, a couple of plays where they were behind the sticks on third down, and he was catching the ball at the line to gain and moving the chains to keep the drive and season alive for at least a couple more minutes for Ohio State.
He's so dominant. And so he performed at the highest level. His team wasn't enough. They lose 24-14, whatever. Before the game kicks off, in the media availabilities before the game actually kicks off, he was honest, which he didn't have to be. On game week, you're about to face off against the University of Miami. He already talked some heat against Miami fans earlier that week, but Jeremiah Smith, number one prospect in college football, ahead of Ohio State playing Miami, was asked if Miami was winning in the way that they are today, would you have gone? And he said, yes, I would have likely been a Miami Hurricane. I would have chosen Miami if things were going better. Things are now going better, so that door is reopened. It is home for him. This is his family that we're talking about. This is a team he grew up rooting for, and his job is done at Ohio State. He's done it all there.
And, Theo, I want to make sure that the general audience who's watching or listening right now is not taking your takeaway from what Jeremiah said as a paraphrase, a cherry pick, pick what you want, pick what you like. We're eventually going to play the audio of what exactly Jeremiah Smith said because you are not smoothing the eight edges of a statement to make it more pro-Miami.
No.
You're not trying to fit your narrative, I guess, per se. No, he just flat out said if Miami was good and winning these games, I would be a Miami Hurricane.
That's crazy, right? Like, to say that not just ahead of a playoff game, but to say that ahead of the playoff game against said school is like it's not necessary. It's not necessary. So here it is. So Damian Perez was back in the studio, fired it up for us. Here is Jeremiah Smith answering a question before the game is even kicked off about whether or not he had plans on being a Cane before becoming a Buckeye.
So, if Miami had won or played in games like this before you signed out of high school, would your decision may have been different?
Most likely, yeah. I'll probably end up going to Miami if things was on the right track then and there. But I chose to stick with Ohio State.
Is being in the Final Four the right track?
I think I would consider that being on the right track.
Is it exceptionally easy to move from school to school for anyone in the country right now?
Seamless.
Is it easier when you are undoubtedly the number one prospect at your position and probably a top 5 player in college football entirely?
Not only would Miami open him with welcome arms, I think, and again, I'm speaking out of turn here because I haven't asked the guys, I think that there would be guys on that team, on the University of Miami, who would say, hey, if there's not enough money in the NIL budget, I will take a $25,000 pay cut. Like, let's make room to get our guy back here. And it's not because the difference is KD to Golden State, Kevin Durant was a mercenary.
Yeah,
Kevin
he was
Durant,
not from the Bay Area, right?
No, he wasn't from the Bay Area. He had no ties to that team. He had no ties to the players on that team except for being a cordial friend of Draymond Green at the time, which we see how that explosively ended. Like, these are his guys. Like, again, his best friend from high school, who was also a wide receiver with him at Chaminade Madonna, who he won 3 or was it 4 straight national state championships with Chaminade?
Yeah.
I think it was 4 straight that Jeremiah Smith was a part of. Then they won the 5th one, and then they lost this past year. JoJo Trader's on the Miami Hurricanes, catching balls for them in these playoffs. He was dapping them up, kicking it with them. He's from South Florida. And most importantly, think about, like, for him specifically, what it would mean to him to be part of the U being back, the resurgence of Miami, and bringing a national championship to Coral Gables with his guys. How much would that mean for him, especially given the fact that he already did what he was supposed to do for Ohio State last year?
It certainly is a different line of thinking in terms of a high school athlete choosing where they want to play football at the next level when they're that good. The conventional line of thinking is my addition will make us where I believe Miami football should be.
Yeah.
He went a roundabout way. He went to where the winning football was and waited, whether it was going to happen or not, and left that door by that answer that he said. He left that door open of maybe Miami will be a future home for him because they are a winning football program led by Mario Cristobal. And I'm just thinking about Malachi Tony and Jeremiah Smith in the same wide receiver core. And there will be quarterbacks that enter the portal when they're already winning and already on the track to be a first-round pick, going to Miami to experience that.
Yeah.
Like
what are we talking about?
I think we're talking about. I think we're talking about the consolidation of Arch Manning saying, "Wait a second," and I was just trying to go for the best example of that. Of why would Arch leave? Miami might be building something that is genetically engineered to rip quarterbacks where you think that they're safe and comfortable at.
Yeah, this is not all right. It is not. That's why I hate when it sounds like conspiracy theorist, or I hate when it sounds like, oh, Kane's homer. Oh, Theo, you're just being a Kane's homer. You're making stuff up. It actually makes way more sense than you would think. He's out there in Columbus, Ohio, and he's from South Florida. He knows he's a year away from going to the NFL, where guess what, C-Katt? He don't get to choose his destination. It gets chosen for him in the NFL draft. He has no control. This is Jeremiah Smith's last chance to choose his destination as to where he wants to play football for at least 5 years until he gets to his second contract in the NFL, which we know that NFL free agency don't work the way in which free agency is supposed to work in general. So it could be another 7 or 8 years. This is his last chance to be able to have full control over, hey, I want to play here with these people, and for it to be potentially a Miami Hurricane program that is now back, that now has the coaching staff that you can believe in. Also, let's not forget, one of the big caveats, one of the big reasons he went to Ohio State was because they're a wide receiver factory because of then offensive coordinator and assistant coach Brian Hartline, who is now going to be a head football coach at USF. He's not there anymore. Miami can match whatever NIL dollars that Ohio State can provide for Jeremiah Smith next year for a one-year rental of a hometown guy. It all makes perfect sense. To be honest with you, I am now talking myself into thinking it's more likely Jeremiah Smith is a Cane next year than an Ohio State Buckeye, which is crazy.
And specifically on a macro level, what Miami is setting up right now, they are in the ACC, which is a power vacuum right now. Yeah. Whoever does rise above the mean is set up to be dynastic, set up to run that conference like you saw Clemson do for a while. Clemson in the NIL age has not been near the dominant as they were pre-NIL.
Yeah.
Miami is the poster child for the new era of college football, and they're in the ACC. And they have a deep bank to pull money from to pay these players. And they are an attractive place to play and live in generally for a 18 to 21-year-old. And they're now winning.
Yeah.
Like, I am looking at all the facts presented to me, and Miami is setting up something special to where that's got to be the top of everyone's list, let alone someone that has hometown ties to the region.
And that's the key, right? When Howard Schnellenberger turned Miami into what it is today, the late, great Howard Schnellenberger, who has a statue at Florida Atlantic, who has a long line of history of things of what he did at Louisville, but also, let's not forget, he was the architect of the beginning of all of this with the University of Miami. He talked about setting up a fence around the state of Miami and being able to recruit here first and gathering all of the top talent around this area, and then also setting that up to then get some of those national recruits. That's the beauty of being able to do it in Miami. It's the same reason why I say it's excusable for Lane Kiffin, even in the NIL era, to choose LSU over Ole Miss. Can you recruit nationally at Ole Miss and still get NIL funds to be able to build a competitive roster year over year? Yes. But how much natural talent is being raised in your area as Ole Miss fans who are also 5-star, 4-star prospects, who are the kind of guys that can be generational, who are the kind of guys that can be first-round draft picks? How many of those guys are in your backyard? Not as many. You go to LSU, you can do both. At Ole Miss, you're limited, and you're forced to build through the transfer portal, and you're forced to try to convince guys from Ohio and Pennsylvania and L.A. and Texas to come to what is it? Oxbridge, Oxford, Mississippi. Whereas if you're Mario Cristobal, it's like, think about Ruben Bain. Ruben Bain's going to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. Ruben Bain is the most unblockable edge rusher in college football right now, and he is the demonstrative force on that edge that makes Miami's defense as, impossible to score against as they have been. Akeem Mesidor as well. Ruben Bain, he was a little under-recruited because he didn't have the height, weight, speed that you thought you would want out of the edge guy, but he was from Miami, and he was a Cane fan. And Cristobal and them got to see him up close and personal and build relationships, and they got him to come to Miami to be a guy that is now a wrecking force and a wrecking ball. Malachi Toney, same thing. That dude should have been a 5-star prospect. How in the hell do you have a wide receiver who was electric as he was as a weapon and a wide receiver for 3 years, and then in his 4th year at American Heritage, he not only played excellently at that position, he fills in at quarterback, and he wins a state championship as a quarterback, going 14 for 15 in a championship game, being absolutely dominant. How in the world is this dude like a 3-star coming out? People doubted him because of his side, his measurables. Miami knew what he was. They knew that they had, quote-unquote, baby Jesus in their backyard. Those are just the guys you're getting from your own backyard. Then you think about all the guys you're able to recruit as well because it's South Florida, because you're winning, because you're building up the trenches, because now you're in the Final Four. Miami they have been a sleeping juggernaut for years, and in the era of the transfer portal, in the era of NIL, and also now that they have a competent head coach who can recruit and build from the trenches, we are really literally on the precipice of potentially a dynasty, and it would start with not only them winning a national championship at their home stadium this year, but it also would start with, if this offseason Jeremiah Smith makes the decision that everybody can see happening already of going back to Miami.
And in terms of building a dynasty and those warning signs and setting that standard, I think the job's been done already. Yeah. I think that they could lose in a close game to Ole Miss, pack it up for the year, and they are still positioned to take over the ACC, and in doing so, take over the inside track of college football. But I told you this on the phone when we were talking about the show planning for today. It's setting up camp by the source of water. There is no greater source of water in the country in terms of producing NFL prospects like the state of Florida.
Yeah.
And the next competitor to that would be the Texas, but Texas has so many other schools fighting for those guys.
Yeah.
And Florida's got the big 3, and then maybe you want to consider USF and UCF to hijack a guy or two from the backyard.
Yeah.
But Miami, specifically with the region, like you said, how Schnellenberger set up the fence around Miami. It's the quote-unquote state of Miami.
Yeah, not the city.
Miami's got the inside track for those guys. But the state of Florida itself, extending up to Vero Beach, where you got a couple of Seminoles who are seeing that program not do very well right now, despite a couple of guys being recruited to that spot as well. Miami's going to poach some guys with the display they already put on, taking down Ohio State in the fashion of which they took down Ohio State.
They bullied them.
Because it's a beautiful combination of the classic South Florida speed with the Mario Cristobal muscle. And that is what makes that marriage so perfect for the sport of college football. That it's not just one or the other. They aren't Iowa, and they aren't the Cliff Kingsbury offense, right?
Yeah.
They don't rely too heavily on one methodology of football, the muscle or the speed. They have both, and they have the money to pay for the quarterback. And that is might scare you. I think maybe it's changing. Of course, when you make it to the Final Four, whatever formula is working. But as much as bringing in a mercenary year over year and being heavily reliant on that investment working, like it paid off for Cam Ward, the tools around him quite not. It looked like Carson Beck might be the weak point of that team, and he still very well may be because of how strong the rest of it is. Mm-hmm. Relying on the mercenary at quarterback has worked so far, and they've got the wallet to do that.
And I will say to defend Carson Beck, he has been in the losses for Miami the weak point for them. He has been the reason why they lost those games. Louisville, it's hard to look past what he did against Louisville, and of course both games kind of ended on interceptions from him, SMU and Louisville. Here's what I will say. He's not been the reason, or he has been the reason they have lost games, but he's made sure he's not been the reason why they failed to win in these big games when they play up against big opponents. It almost feels like against Louisville and SMU, he was trying to make plays outside of his own ability, or at least outside of his own comfortability in the offense yet. But now he knows the limitations he has. I would say Shannon Dawson, the offensive coordinator for Miami, also knows what limitations that he has as well. And they also know what buttons they can push to get big plays out of Malachi Toney late, or to scheme up something where it's just C.J. Daniels and a guy to beat, or to scheme up something now where you have Mark Fletcher being a wrecking ball out of the backfield. You could just turn around and hand it to him a few times. I hate to use this word because I don't mean it as a slight to Carson Beck, but he's becoming the perfect game manager for Miami.
Yeah.
And that's all they need because of the talent around them right now, because they have a dominant O-line, because they have a dominant defensive front. They have opportunistic defensive backs that make plays and make picks when they need it most. All you need at quarterback is a game manager. Hell, a dude like Cam Ward might mess it up.
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't. I don't think he would. But a playmaker and an improviser and a wild card like Cam Ward who can go out and help you score 50 could also have plays that can lose you games because that's what you get when you have those elite level, elite talent quarterbacks. Carson Beck is playing within himself. He's a game manager right now. That's all the Canes need. They're better than Ole Miss. And if they get through Ole Miss and Glendale, I mean, think of you're at home for the national championship on MLK Day.
We're gonna be there.
We'll be there with the that
add something
that matters. They're gonna when they're marching into the stadium at Hard Rock Stadium, even though they're going into the away tunnel, so they'll feel a little different. They'll see that ESPN South Florida booth with C-Katt and Theo, and they're gonna say, "Damn it, this is home. This is it." And then also you're gonna be playing against either an Indiana team or an Oregon team that doesn't necessarily have that mystique, and they also don't have you out talented. Like this could literally set up to be either Mario Cristobal versus Oregon, his former school, or Cristobal and the Canes versus the Indiana school with Kirk Cignetti, who have all of the bravado and the talent and whatnot. And you got the Miami, you got the Fernando Mendoza, who's from Miami himself, and a big Duffy's fan, by the way, against the Canes. And at that point, it's like, hey, spot the ball, let's go, let's see who's got it.
Yeah, and specifically with their immediate matchup with Ole Miss, who played an instant classic last night.
That was crazy. How do we not even talk about that yet? It ended 5 times.
Yeah, seriously. we had my alarm was set yesterday morning at 4:45 a.m. So I was toast, dude. I was so tired after our Orange Bowl pregame show.
Yeah.
I picked up and went home and watched the game from home, and took a nap from 3:10 to 4 o'clock and watched the rest of the college football throughout the day. I was so tired, but the game was like a stimulant. The game kept me awake because of how electric it was. If I got the Orange Bowl or if I got the Rose Bowl as that 8 o'clock game, snoozing.
Oh, yes.
Guaranteed asleep, no doubt about it. But electric play after electric play kept me awake, and we haven't even talked about that game yet. But with Ole Miss specifically, the next opponent for Miami in the semifinal, they allow an average of 146 rushing yards per game.
Oh!
Which is head and shoulders the worst of any team remaining. They're going to eat that team alive on the ground with Mark Fletcher.
That's crazy.
And then there'll be 1 or 2 plays over the top with Malachi Toney and Carson Beck there with the maturity to make that throw as you're going to pack the box with these guys not to get too inside the X's and O's.
Yeah.
But how you saw Miami finish the game against Ohio State a couple of days ago is how they're going to plan to attack Ole Miss with who knows who's coaching them.
I cannot. I don't even know how to begin to describe my emotion. And this is like my wife Ashley was with me. We were at the media hotel for the Capital One Orange Bowl. In there the day before, the night before the Capital One Orange Bowl because, it's New Year's Eve. I wanted to be there early. We had the Fan Fest tailgate that I was hosting, which I had to be at the stadium the next morning by 7 a.m. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not staying at home and making that drive early. Let's stay in Fort Lauderdale. Let's kick it. I'm up in that hotel room going absolutely bananas. And she's just hoping for the game to end so that we can watch the countdown. She's like, because the game, it started getting close. It was like about 11 or so when we were winding all the way down. And she's like, when can we turn to the countdown? I'm like, we're not turning to the countdown, especially not before this game ends. But also, I need to see like 20 minutes or so of the post-game stuff as well. But the euphoria, the elation, I'm like punching the bed. I'm jumping up and down. She's like, we are in a hotel room. You are going to, we're going to get kicked out. That feeling is so unmatched. To watch your college football team, especially one that was so heavily doubted, one that was the last one in the playoff, one that they tried to hold out of the playoff to put a team in that you were in the stadium and watched them beat this year. Like to see all of that line up and to see Miami do it against the Ohio State University, which stole a national championship away from us with the help of referee Terry Porter 23 years ago, and to see it all be culminated on a dominant first half where I felt like it was over. They let them back into the game in the second half, and just like that Notre Dame game, Miami found a way to close a tense, close game in the end, and it came with defensive stops and offensive execution. That is a complete football team. I became I don't know if I've fanned out that much in decades. Because even with the big three Miami Heat, it was a shoo-in, right? With the Kansas City Chiefs, it's Patrick Mahomes. We've seen this story before. There's elation, but it's like you expected to win. Miami wasn't expected to win against Ohio State. And that wasn't even the national championship, but something about that felt bigger than what it actually was. And I can't tell you that feeling that overwhelmed me. I can't even begin to describe it. And it's similar, C-Katt, I will say, to the feeling that people get when they first experience the Winter Equestrian Festival at Wellington International. And I'm serious about this. People out here, we're at TGL.
Yes, and to go behind the scenes 1 second. So we've got this piece of paper with the details, all the things you need to know about what's going down in Wellington. And we have some events that are coming down the line at that venue through the several weekends. And it sold me just by reading this paper that I'm going to be there. I'm out of town this weekend, but next weekend I'm going to be there.
You got to
It's like a cowboy night or something. It's like,
This theme night. So people think about equestrian, and I think the biggest issue is people think it's untouchable. People think it's a little snooty, that it's out of their price range. Equestrian is more accessible than some of these high school basketball games. Like it might cost you more to go check out Dwyer versus Jupiter than it would on especially a Saturday night where it's free. General admission to WEF is actually free right there in Wellington, Florida. The Winter Equestrian Festival, and I'm telling you right now, Saturday night is the best way to introduce yourself to this sport. They call it Saturday Night Lights. It's high-energy show jumping under the lights. You're going to watch these horses, these majestic creatures, do all of these tricks right in front of your eyes. You are literally like a few arms length away from it at times. It's a vibrant atmosphere. You got family activities. You got food. You got music. You have the excitement that you can literally feel. Sometimes with sports with just people, there's an element of familiarity. There's an element of almost like monotony where you're like, I've seen some of this before. You've seen nothing like what Winter Equestrian Festival is up close and personal. If you want to check it out yourself, it's running now through March at Wellington International. For more information, visit wellingtoninternational.com. Wellingtoninternational.com. And again, like, I'm not selling you because you can go for free. General admission is free on Saturday nights, but also Saturday Night Lights tomorrow is the Battle of the Sexes. Yeah, that's right. The Battle of the Sexes tomorrow night at Wellington International. So get ready for one of the most exciting nights with the Winter Equestrian Festival. $75,000 Battle of the Sexes presented by Lemoore during Saturday Night Lights. That is tomorrow at 7 p.m. So either dress in pink or blue to support your team as male or female riders go head to head. This is
cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
As a dude, you can dress in pink if you're like, hey, I'm rolling with the ladies tonight. I want to score some points. As a woman, you can do the same. I'm dressing in blue because you know what? I'm rocking with the fellas. I think they got this one. You choose your fighter.
All right.
I like that. Which one would you wear?
I don't have anything that's pink.
You
So
have
by
any-
default,
I
would go blue.
Yeah, I have a blue shirt right here, too, if you need one. Oh, you're going to be out of town. You're going to be out of town. Every round is fast. Every decision matters. Pull up wellingtoninternational.com to get your tickets. And doors open at 6. Again, general admission is free. Tomorrow night at 6, Wellington International. General admission is free. Just visit wellingtoninternational.com for more information. Reserve your spot. Pull up to the Battle of the Sexes. And remember, wear pink or wear blue to support your people. C-Katt, we got to touch more on this college football playoff stuff. Later on in the show here on Theoretically Speaking, we're going to talk about which school has the best story. We talked about Miami's story here a bit and how it can be storybook for them to end it at Hard Rock Stadium, their home stadium. But which school of the four, Oregon, Indiana, Ole Miss, and Miami, has the best story in the CFB playoff?
Man.
Plus, we got to get to this NFL 18 stuff.
People wanted to make it the 1, 2, 3, 4 playoff.
Right. Yeah, it's cornballs, man. Cornballs. That's what you got to remember, like, people also are always rooting for their own self-interest. All of the pro-Notre Dame people were just either Notre Dame fans or Catholics. You know, like, this, or Miami haters. Like
Irish. You forgot the Irish.
Or the Irish. They had such a wide net. Such a wide net. Or just like losers. You know, just losers who wanted to see teams that lost get in over teams that won.
Yeah, like the intern that was helping out over here. He was wearing an Oregon polo, and we said, hey, great win yesterday. And he goes, yeah, I don't like Oregon. I like Notre Dame. He was a junior in high school and didn't decide where he was going yet. All right. Sorry.
I'm like, sorry, you're wearing an Oregon shirt, so forgive me for shouting you out. More of that and more here on the other side of Theoretically Speaking. We are at the SoFi Center. TGL Fridays tonight. First match tips tees off at 5 o'clock?
7.
7 o'clock.
Yeah, 7. One match tonight. It's Boston Common versus LA Golf Club. Rory's in action.
Oh, nice.
Colin Morikawa's in action. And someone who you can't pronounce his last name's in action.
Perfect. Well, we're going to see them all tonight at 7 at the SoFi Center. That's C-Katt. I'm Theo Dorsey. We are Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Thieves are stealing property every day throughout Florida, and it can happen to anyone. Hi, I'm Mike Caruso, your clerk of court of Palm Beach County, here to tell you about my office's free property fraud alert service. Just sign up at mypalmbeachclerk.com/property-fraud, and you'll get an email anytime a document is recorded in your name, address, or property parcel number. Stop them and sign up for Property Fraud Alert. It only takes a minute to register at mypalmbeachclerk.com/PFA.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Mansour's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Mansour's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
we also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $849 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stressed life. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, you don't have to be a pro athlete to be treated like one. We use the latest innovations to create a treatment plan personalized for you, no matter who you are. Our team of orthopedic and sports medicine specialists have the expertise to help you get back out there performing at your best. And with top-notch recovery and physical therapy, you'll be back in the game and living your life to the fullest in no time. Welcome to Pro-Level Orthopedic Care. Learn more at baptisthealth.net/ortho.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Let me be the first to say I respect
They're going to say
Ole
Happy
Miss.
New Year. Okay.
No, I would be the first. It's January 2nd.
True.
I respect. Yeah. So the hell, I respect Ole Miss. I respect Ole Miss as an opponent for Miami, and it's not going to be an easy out. But I will say, through the first 2 games of these playoffs, Miami has held Texas A&M and Ohio State to a combined 17 points. Through this entire college football season for Ole Miss to this point, they have not held one single Power 4 opponent to under 17 points in a singular game. So, like, Miami's defense, their ability to withhold electric offenses, teams that have put up, dozens and dozens of points game in and game out to get to this place, Miami's defense his ability to shut off all the valves and dominate, I think, is going to be the difference in this game. And the question is, can Carson Beck and that offense get to 20 to 25 points? And I think we kind of answered that for ourselves by talking about how porous Ole Miss's defense has seemed. Like this, I want to see the line on this game, but this doesn't necessarily feel like Miami's only 2.5-point favorites.
Yeah. Miami has not trailed to an AP top 25 team this year.
That's crazy. It was tied against Notre Dame at one point. They have not trailed,
which is nuts.
Yeah,
like I'm not a Miami Hurricanes fan, but I'm rooting for Miami because of where we live and how it's better for the show and better for the business, and it unlocks more opportunities. And Coach Cristobal, he's kind of infectious. You kind of want to root for his team when he does his interviews. I got to be honest, he's a good recruiter. Just, I don't know, a good promoter of his own program. And it's been a fun ride so far, and they've got a great chance to extend it to a home game.
I love how doubted he had become. I mean, you think about the decisions at the Georgia Tech game, the back-to-back years losing to Georgia Tech in weird or ironic ways. You think about the embarrassment of the Middle Tennessee State loss at home. There's so many holes in his first 4 years as a head coach at Miami where he was doubted left and right. He was ridiculed. He was made fun of. Hell, at ACC kickoff one year, I had to ask him directly about one of those decisions, and he fought back at me. The dude is resilient as hell. He's a great recruiter, and he's brought Miami back to a state of prominence, and we'll see if they're able to make that next step on January 8th in Glendale, Arizona against Ole Miss in the Fiesta Bowl, which, by the way, C-Kat, I'll be attending.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be in the house.
Nice.
So,
we'll be very well presented.
I'll talk about my journey to get there, which is a very inexact route. It's a lot of tosses and turns. I finally booked it all up this morning. We'll talk about what that's going to look like later. But speaking of travel, there's no better place to be right now than aboard the journey that is the Safebound Get Around.
The Safebound Get Around is brought to you by Safebound Moving and Storage, South Florida's most trusted moving company. You're safe with Safebound.
The Safebound Get Around. Let's ride. All aboard. All aboard. And our first stop. This is all NFL, right? This is an NFL.
It is an NFL Sunday, Friday after all. Right. So we got to talk a little bit of pro ball.
Yeah, Roger Goodell has hijacked our vehicle.
Where are we going to first, Jamian?
Next stop,
Tampa, Florida, because the first of 3 mega consequential games on the weekend NFL slate takes place at Raymond James Stadium. It is a divisional championship game in the NFC South. You've got the Buccaneers, who are, against all odds, 7-9, and the first place team in the NFC South is the Carolina Panthers. They're on the road. Right now, that spread is Tampa -3 over Carolina. They were formerly your favorite team in the NFL, Theo. That was your fan allegiance until 2022.
21.
What's your what?
I think it was 21.
It wasn't 21.
It wasn't 21.
Because I was here.
The offseason of 21, though. So going into 22. So just,
okay,
I'll let you finish.
That's when you changed. So you changed it. What's your read on Buccaneers Panthers?
They're 2 very bad teams, 2 very flawed teams. This is a flawed and a terrible division. This division needs to be done away with. The only thing that has saved it over the past 7 years was Tom Brady coming in and jumping on the horse and reviving this division to be a Super Bowl champion. I don't know why the hell we even play these football games. What are we doing? Are we putting the Panthers or the Buccaneers in the same playoffs as the Seahawks, the Niners, the Rams, the Bears, the Packers? I'd rather have the Vikings than either one of these 2 teams. This is an embarrassment for the NFL that we have to keep on putting This feels like James Madison. Like, whatever Panthers
You're
or
not
Buccaneers.
respecting anything the Panthers have done. The Panthers have some pretty good wins in their schedule, along with some bad losses. The Panthers beat the Rams.
That's the Panthers for you, though. That's the Panthers. They're not a good football team. They're a volatile football team. They can win games, but they can't rely on their offense. They have a pretty good defense. Derek Brown is impeccable as a defensive tackle. They've got some good corners. J.C. Horn has been good. But they're incredibly inconsistent. They were two different teams in that game against Seattle. If they beat the Seahawks last week, I would have more belief in them being a definitive, like a real deal football playoff team in the NFL. They looked solid and then it all went to hell in the second half. Two completely different teams. We don't need to see Bucks Panthers again.
Well, you know what's funny is
he just lost to the Saints.
I misrepresented the stakes of this game because it's not a simple win and you're in for either team. For the Panthers, they could. How does this work exactly?
So if the Saints lose, it's the Falcons.
The Falcons put off their upset on Monday Night Football to close Week 17. So there is a scenario where Carolina clinches this division even with a loss to the Buccaneers because of a three-way tie for that division. The Falcons are mathematically eliminated.
They're done.
But the Falcons are 7-9. The Falcons beat the Saints. They're 8-9. So will be Carolina with a loss. So will be Tampa Bay with that game, winning that game. And in that tiebreaker situation, it will be the Panthers losing that game, winning the NFC South, and making the playoffs.
So if Tyler Shuck and the Saints beat Kirk Cousins and the Falcons, then Panthers-Bucks doesn't matter. That's pretty much what we're saying. Oh, excuse me, the other way around. Yeah.
Yes.
So it would take Tyler Shuck lifting the Saints over Kirk Cousins and the Falcons to make Panthers versus Bucks matter.
But Panthers-Bucks happens first.
No. Falcons. Oh, you're right. It happens on Saturday.
Yes,
happens on Saturday.
So that game will have stakes no matter what. But it's almost like if you're playing blackjack.
Yeah.
And you say, "Give me the card." Let's see, the dealer's showing a 6.
Yeah.
And you split aces. You ask for your card being given on aces because you can't resplit aces. Give it upside down. So you have an ace and an unknown card, an ace and an unknown card, and the dealer has a 6.
Yeah.
Eventually the dealer's drawing, and you assume the dealer's probably going to bust because they probably have a 10, 16. They have a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Yeah.
Where when you're having aces, if the dealer flips over and they eventually have an 18, wait a second, you still have a chance because you have an ace and maybe a 10.
Right.
An ace and maybe an 8. You can still win those hands.
Yeah.
Right now, the Panthers have a backdoor entrance into the playoffs, even if they lose to the Buccaneers on Saturday on that 4 o'clock kickoff.
They got a second chance.
And that second chance is if the Falcons beat the Saints, a red-hot Saints team with a team that may have found their quarterback in Tyler Shuck.
I like Tyler Shuck, but I also like what the Falcons have to play for because despite them being eliminated from the playoffs, they want to make their first-round pick be as poor as possible for the Los Angeles Rams so they don't have to hear all of the stories about the guy they could have had.
That's a good point. They have no advantageous reason
Yeah.
to lose that game
They're
like a
playing
lot
to
of
win.
these teams in Week 18 do.
Yeah, they're playing to win because they're going to play their way. They're trying to play their way out of embarrassment because 4 or 5 weeks ago it looked like this could have been a top 5 pick. They've been winning football games, specifically one against the Rams, to help make that pick worse, but then also to help instill confidence in that locker room, instill confidence in their head coach, Raheem Morris, who seemed like he was on the hot seat for some time. So I'm actually more compelled. This is going to sound stupid as hell, but I am more compelled with Saints v. Falcons despite what happens with the Panthers and the Buccaneers because I like Tyler Shuck potentially as the guy for the future for the Saints. That could mean they don't draft a quarterback this year. They roll with him. And I also I'm interested to see how the Falcons galvanize around Kirk Cousins and try to pull out a win around their head coach, Raheem Morris. This game means more for the future of these two franchises than Bucks-Panthers means for the future of both of those because I think we both know where they're going, and it's going to be another 9-8 season next year. Both of them.
And for our radio and viewing audience, so you sound smart, unlike me just now. Situation is, if the Buccaneers beat the Panthers, the Buccaneers then need the Saints to beat the Falcons. If the Panthers beat the Buccaneers, they win the division.
Yeah, it's over. The Panthers can win, and they're in.
Exactly.
If Panthers lose, then we're watching the Saints-Falcons with something on the line. But either way, there's something on the line with Saints-Falcons because there's draft positioning for the Saints. There's figuring out what Tyler Shuck is. And there's also draft positioning for the Falcons by way of the Rams, which is a convoluted way of saying both games have a lot of meaning, and they should be fun. But again, what the hell are we talking about? Like, we're in the romper room talking about these kids over here pillow fighting when we could be talking about, like, the Rams and the Saints. In the Seahawks and the Broncos. You know, it's a lot, but there's bigger fish to fry.
All right, let's fry some bigger fish.
Please.
This one's going to be a flounder because you don't fry a big tuna. Damien, where are we going next?
Next stop.
We are going to Santa Clara, California.
That's a big fish.
Levi's Stadium. That's going to be a divisional championship game as well. You've got the 49ers hosting the Seattle Seahawks, a battle atop the NFC West. The smoking hot San Francisco 49ers coming to this game on a roll. Brock Purdy's been dealing these last couple of weeks. It was a thriller on Sunday Night Football where the 49ers beat the Bears 42-38. What is your read on this NFC West divisional championship game in Week 18?
Kyle Shanahan deserves Coach of the Year. Like, if you were to, like, back when it happened, but more specifically, even before the season started, if you were to tell me that you're going to lose Fred Warner for the year, you're going to lose Nick Bosa for the year, Trent Williams will be in and out of the lineup, you're going to have a guy like Ricky Pearsall be in and out of the lineup, Brandon Ayuk, not only is he not going to come back because of injury, the dude is like pseudo-retiring from football or voiding his contract. Brock Purdy's going to be out half the year. Mac Jones is going to have to start football games. Who am I missing? There's another receiver. Juwan Jennings been in and out of the lineup. They have had zero consistency. George Kittle missed a big portion of this season. They've had zero consistency when it comes to availability of players, which has been the story of the Niners since Kyle Shanahan has taken over. They have been riddled with injury year in and year out. That defense has been super banged up left and right. If you told me all of these things happen, I would tell you, we're looking at another 5-12 season from the Niners with a picking in the top half of the draft, and maybe they'll add a piece to that defense or add a weapon for Purdy. No. Instead, they're a game away from winning the NFC West, a new and improved NFC.
Yeah, I was going to say, that division is no cakewalk.
And he's Coach of the Year. He's also, can we stop making this such a convoluted conversation? He's also a damn good coach. You know, like Kyle Shanahan is a well-respected, good offensive play caller. He's had his big flubs in Super Bowls and whatnot, not knowing overtime rules, situational management, clock management, whatever. He's a damn good coach, and he's coached his ass off this year, and he has a chance to win one of the toughest divisions in all of the league. He should be Coach of the Year, win or lose against the Seahawks.
Yeah, I was going to say win or lose because I told you the 49ers were red hot, whether they were healthy or not. Now they're getting more and more healthy. The Seahawks are pretty hot, too. They've won 6 in a row. Their last loss was a 2-point road loss against the Rams. They've done a really good job there in Seattle with Sam Darnold at the helm. So maybe that takes away the steam from their head coach, Coach of the Year claim, because it's been the quarterback change that really changed things.
It did.
It accelerated things because Geno Smith got that team on the right track post Russell Wilson. When he was kind of on the decline, you thought, okay, the Seahawks are in no man's land. But when Geno Smith took the helm, won his first start of the season on Monday Night Football against Russell Wilson, he manned that ship, and he kept that team afloat. Sam Darnold's taken over, and the team is better with him at quarterback.
Yeah. And Jackson Smith and Jigba has a great claim at Offensive Player of the Year. This game is more about who's the real Offensive Player of the Year between JSN and Christian McCaffrey. And I will say, I'll be clear and concise about it. I'll be honest and open with you about it, unlike Dan Orlovsky was with y'all last year. I have a vested interest in Christian McCaffrey winning Offensive Player of the Year because that was my preseason call here on Theoretically Speaking, and which I got ridiculed by from our guy Kevin Bozeman, a stand-up comedian. He said it would never happen. Christian McCaffrey has a real shot at it, and I put my money where my mouth is.
Yeah, that's more important to me. Predictions are willy-nilly.
Yeah,
but you invested money in CMC taking that award.
It would be not a huge payday, but you know what?
What number did you get on it?
Oh man.
The odds must have been great because he didn't look like he was going to be healthy coming into the season.
It was back when he was hurt. I got it back when he was hurt. Christian McCaffrey
This is coming off a season where he was flying over to Germany to repair something, and we never heard of it before.
Plus 2,000.
Wow. Plus 2,000.
So,
I
yes.
don't care what actual money you put on that, but you had a nice snipe.
It's a great deal. And also, I had Jonathan Taylor as well. My 2 picks were Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey. I cashed out on JT the game before everything got derailed for the Colts.
Whoa.
So I cashed out, and he was the odds-on favorite at that point. So I cashed out high on my JT ticket. I kept the CMC because I couldn't get nothing for it at the time. Now I'm riding this thing through. So while we're watching Week 18, while we're watching Seahawks 49ers, if McCaffrey goes off for a 5-touchdown day, just know he's not only winning the Niners the game, he's winning me some money. So give that guy a pat on the back.
And where are we going to next in the Safe Bound Get Around?
Next stop.
We are going to the game of Sunday, the final game, game number 272 of this NFL football
People love
season.
saying that.
Yeah.
I've heard that like a million times.
I think they started promoting how many games from the season this year.
Okay. I've heard it a million times, so okay.
Well,
I'm glad
like
you joined
baseball
me.
has their game 162, like when there are last-second clinching appearances.
Right.
It was really big when the Rays erased like a 9-run deficit versus the Yankees.
But that's different,
while the Orioles came back to beat the Red Sox to get the Rays in the playoffs that year. Game 162, game 272 in the season. It is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Acrisure Stadium. Steelers hosting the Ravens, and the Ravens are 3.5-point favorites on the road in that game. Lamar Jackson has returned to the practice field. Lamar Jackson has had questions about his maturity in the last several weeks. Conveniently enough, while Tyler Huntley took over, looked good in the second half of their Week 16 game and destroyed the Packers in their Week 17 game, while the Steelers lost Week 17 against the Browns in an inexcusable fashion.
Perfect timing.
We've got a perfect Sunday Night Football game to wrap up the regular season.
This game, the way people choose it or pick their sides, has nothing to do with anybody. There's going to be like 22 guys on the field at the same time, 52 on each side all together. I don't give a damn about none of them. It comes down to one guy and one guy only, and that's Lamar Jackson. It ain't about Aaron Rodgers. It ain't about Mike Tomlin. It ain't about John Harbaugh. This is, do you believe in Lamar Jackson? Are you confident in those 2 MVPs, the Heisman Trophy, the AFC Championship runner-up? Are you confident in the body of work Lamar Jackson has put in since he's become an NFL starter for the Baltimore Ravens? Or are you somebody who is a Lamar detractor? I think that is the way in which you decide to pick this game. There is nobody that is more – I don't think anybody matters more this weekend in the NFL than the play of Lamar Jackson coming off of this injury.
Wow. Yeah, I'm a Ravens fan. And I've been hurt by bad Lamar Jackson performances. The AFC divisional round last year was not one of those instances. He's played well in a loss on the road in Buffalo.
That was a Mark Andrews game.
Exactly. There were other reasons why not other reasons. Lamar was definitively not one of the reasons why the Ravens lost that game. But Tyler Huntley looked really, really, really good.
He did.
At taking over the ship, not doing too much, using his legs when he needed to. But in general, the offensive scheme relied on the running back, Derrick Henry. He had the most carries in his storied NFL career in that win on the road in Lambeau against the Packers. I don't think it's necessarily how good Lamar plays. I think it's how well is Lamar used by that sideline.
Right.
And I don't think they need him to be Superman whatsoever. In fact, the Steelers are a team that has been historically good against Lamar Jackson and very good at controlling his legs and limiting what Lamar Jackson is able to do with his legs. And they've been beating the Ravens when the Steelers had Mason Rudolph at quarterback.
Yeah.
Like when the Steelers had no business competing with the Ravens, when the Ravens were in their 2018, 2019, the peak of the perceived juggernaut Ravens offense and good Ravens defense. So I'm nervous about this game. The fact that the Ravens are 3.5-point favorites on the road in a definitive, it is, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, winner wins the AFC North. It scares me, man. I'm afraid of Lamar Jackson thinking he has to do too much when we were proven last week that you don't need to do too much.
Yeah. But that's why I said this is it. Do you believe in his maturity as a quarterback and as a decision maker?
Right. It's
Do you
more of
believe in
that.
his feeling of the moment? Yeah. But the thing is we know he has the ability to take over a game and win it. Does he have the maturity to pick his spots in the right way against the Steelers in Week 18, and that's what I'm saying. This is a real barometer on how much you trust Lamar Jackson. Now, we know he's the better quarterback.
So do
we
you
know
think
the
this
Ravens
is
are the better
a situation of if it goes wrong, is it Lamar Jackson bailing out of clean pockets and using his legs when it's not necessary?
If the Ravens lose, it's likely Lamar Jackson's fault because I think the Ravens are a better football team than them, and I think that, like you said, Tyler Huntley's ceiling is nowhere near where Lamar's is, but his floor, at least this year, with a banged-up Lamar Jackson, has been better.
Yeah.
So this is going to come down to him making the correct plays in the right moment. Is he going to hand the ball off on that read option or keep it himself? Is he going to check it down, or is he going or throw the ball away, or is he going to try to evade the pocket and end up getting sacked because he doesn't have the same mobility that he had last year when he was healthy? This is not a criticism of Lamar Jackson. We're dealing with the cards we have in our hands right now. Lamar is hampered. Lamar also has not been playing well as of late, so he doesn't have the confidence around him. He's being criticized. His maturity is being called into question. There's hit pieces from all of the columnists out of Baltimore right now. How do you respond? And what I'm saying is I believe he's going to respond the right way because I've seen him do it time and time again throughout his career. Not in the playoffs, not in the big moments in the Super Bowl or in the AFC Championship game, but in a regular season winner-take-all game. I'm taking Lamar Jackson and the Ravens against Aaron Rodgers at 41 years old, especially now that I've seen what that offense looks like sans DK Metcalf. If Ravens get to 21, 25 points, I always say 25, I don't know why. I just like that number. Yeah. If the Ravens get there, I don't know if the Steelers can get there as well to match them.
Sneak preview on Monday's show. Ravens lose. It's as you predicted, Lamar's quote-unquote fault.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, a Baltimore Raven next year?
No. No.
It's a little breadcrumb for Monday's show. That's all we'll give you here.
I don't think he should be. I think that would be the perfect match for divorce. That would be the mixture, the recipe needed for Lamar and the Ravens to depart because it clearly is not going to work. Between him, Harbaugh, Lamar, and the Baltimore Ravens, if they lose on Week 18 of this year, I don't think you bring that trio back.
Okay.
Something's got to give. So, and I think that it might end up being Lamar Jackson. We'll talk more about the NFL. We'll talk some CFB playoff, including who is the biggest story of the Final Four teams left in the playoff, including my Miami Hurricanes. And also, of course, we'll give you a little hint as to what to expect tonight here at TGL as we are right outside of SoFi Center here in Palm Beach Gardens. It's a beautiful day. It's not cold anymore.
No.
The sun's poking out, and we're going to have the promenade filled with fans here as the first match starts at 7 o'clock tonight.
And the Boston Common Golf Club has a debut of a golfer who I have not said yet.
Yeah.
I know how to pronounce their name. I'm withholding it.
Yeah.
Theo, I doubt, knows how to pronounce Michael's name.
I'm going to say
Michael's last name. That's all to come in the second hour. And what's to come in South Florida? It's a pretty big party.
Yeah, man. I've got a little birdie told me, whispered in my ear. In fact, a parrot. Is that what pirates have?
Yes.
Parrots? A little parrot told me that some pirates spend their miserable lives searching for gold and silver, strike the sails and cast the anchor mates. I see a floating chest. What's in that floating chest? Aye, matey. It's tickets to the South Florida Fair.
Jackpot.
Woo!
Come on.
I nailed that pirate accent, by the way. With rides, games, grubs, there's something to do for every mate in your crew. Forget a soul on your list. A great last-minute gift is the South Florida Fair. Give them an experience they'll never forget. I know it's over. This is, Christmas, holidays, all of that is kind of in the rear view. We're looking forward to 2026. How do you want to start your new year? How about you start it at the South Florida Fair? Get yourself a ticket, get your family some ticket, get your best friend a ticket. You can either go to Publix or you can go to southfloridafair.com. And if you can't tell, the theme this year is all pirate-centric.
Love pirates, man.
I'm a Hampton pirate, an alumnus of the illustrious Hampton University out there in the 757 of Virginia. And I'm also a fan of pirates because of that, because I am a pirate.
Of course.
I walk like a pirate. I talk like a pirate. And I will be pulling up to the South Florida Fair like a pirate. Party with the Pirates. It opens up on January 16th. That's the opening day of the fair. That's always the best day to go.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can tell all your friends about it. And it's going to be a great time at the South Florida Fairgrounds. So
we'll be out there. I don't know if we're going to be there that day, but we're going to be there in the first couple of days.
We
the
always
fair
do
opens.
this. We always do this. We're always like, we're not going to do opening day. We might do opening, and we always end up doing opening day.
I'm out of town opening day.
This guy. This guy right here. Selfish. SouthFloridaFair.com. SouthFloridaFair.com. Or you can go to Publix to get your tickets. Again, it opens up January 16th. C-Katt won't be there, so we likely will be there. a day or two after the opening. That's C-Katt. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
It's Tina. You know how important it is to keep your car running. And when it comes to my car, I only trust St. Lucie Battery and Tire. They've been taking care of South Florida for over 50 years, and they're still family-owned. Need new tires? They've got all the big brands. Battery issues? They've got it. Cars, trucks, boats, RVs, and even commercial fleets. And if you ever get stuck, their 24/7 roadside emergency service is a total lifesaver. Go see my friends at St. Lucie Battery and Tire, slbt.com. They'll keep you going.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and I'm dropping the gloves. Your new home for the back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers is ESPN 106.3. Tonight, Original 6 Energy meets South Florida Swagger as the Rangers take on the Panthers. Coverage at 7:30 here on ESPN 106.3.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWestPalmContests.com.
That's ESPNWestPalmContests.com.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Not all moves reflect your lifestyle. At Safebound Luxury, we provide white glove services tailored for high-end homes, fine art, and designer furnishings. Our expert team ensures every piece is packed, transported, and placed with precision and care. If you're relocating a residence that deserves more than a basic move, schedule your private consultation today at safeboundluxury.com to experience the difference. This isn't just a move. This is the art of moving.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stressed life. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. Call Term Busters for a quote, 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class, exam required to qualify. For details, call 1-800-908-7636. Paid for by Robert Livinger, Insurance Agent.
Colin, have you checked out Vitacost Sport Certified Marketplace?
Vitacost? I love Vitacost!
Right? It's a full online sports marketplace. Over 500 performance products from trusted brands like Vega, Thorne, Vital Proteins, and Muscle Milk, all free from banned substances.
So no guessing, no label scrubbing, just clean fuel to train harder and recover smarter.
You got it. And don't forget, save 20% with code ESPN20 at sportcertified.com.
Fuel clean, train smarter. Try Sports Certified by Vitacost today.
Long ago, the seas be whispering tales of the lost loot. A treasure so rare it shows itself but once each turn of the sun. All this searching, and I found it. Publix, this be where X marks the spot?
Discounted tickets, limited time.
South Florida Fair discount tickets are on sale now at Publix and online at southfloridafair.com. Advance tickets can save you more than half, so get them before they vanish on January 15th.
Limited time deal.
You've seen the PGA Tour's best on the course, but in the arena, it's prime time. Season 2 of TGL presented by SoFi is back. With big moments, big personalities, non-stop action on the big screen. Shot clocks, hammer drops, timeouts, and overtime. Tickets are on sale now, but availability is limited. Visit TGLGolf.com to get your tickets while they last. TGL presented by SoFi. Keep up. It's golf.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and I...
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manzo's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manzo's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
We also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $849 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The college football playoff isn't over. Not yet. That epic run, that wild dream, not over till the clock hits 0. Till the stadium shakes. Till the wild things are let loose. Till the trophy is lifted and the confetti falls. This is the national championship. When it's over, you'll feel it. This is the wild world of college football. The CFP National Championship, Monday, January 19th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Well, here should be Theo Dorsey. Of course, the show is called Theoretically Speaking, after all, named after Theo Dorsey. We are currently live at the SoFi Center, right outside the SoFi Center, for TGL Season 2, Match 2, beginning at 7 o'clock tonight on ESPN 2. Boston Common Golf Club, joined by LA Golf Club. And my name's Christian Catt, of course, producer, second mic, lackey, if you would, of Theo Dorsey, live on ESPN 106.3. Theo's not here because Theo said, you know what, our fans, our listeners, they can sit through an 8.5-minute break for all I care. I've got things to do. I've got coffee to pour. And now Theo made it back. Yes, Theo, that was a 7.5-minute break that you forced our listeners to sit through.
So this is not, let me pull the curtain back. Because what you're putting the C-Katt spin on things, and I would love to clear the air.
I wasn't with you, so I don't know what just happened.
All right. See, I'm out of breath because I rushed back here. I realized the time was getting a little short.
Big sacrifice.
So here's what happened. We're here at SoFi Center, right? This is TGL Season 2. There's a lot of new amenities. Like, you remember when we first got here last year to Palm Beach Gardens, and the SoFi Center was this majestic, like almost seventh wonder of the world. It was all these new things happening, but it was still kind of under construction.
Yeah, everything you saw on TV was complete, but if it wasn't on camera, it was incomplete.
Yes. And they were adding new things week after week after week, and things were getting put together. So it was still like a work in progress. It was almost like beta TGL for everything outside of what you saw on TV. This year, everything is in place, plus there's all of these amazing upgrades and all of these new amenities and whatnot. So as I thought I would have a short walk to the media central room to just pick up a coffee, say my hellos, and come back, I got lost in the sauce of all of the great things happening here at TGL, like the Genesis, or what do you call these?
Genesis?
Genesis. I don't know why I'm.
You almost said the beer.
I know. The Genesis vehicles, which, by the way, my dream car is the Genesis SUV vehicles, which are absolutely amazing. I saw a couple of those walking through. When I got to the actual media center, I see our guy Adam, I see Sam. I get lost in a conversation about candies because last year, all we had were chocolate-themed candies, right? You had the Milky Ways, the Hershey's, Almond Joys.
I remember it well.
Butterfingers, whatnot, right?
And for the media.
For the media. This is the media central. So you guys that pull up the TGL, you can't even get your hands on this stuff. But this is just a part of what is the evolution of TGL Season 2. This year, there are 2 candy buckets.
Okay.
The same size of last year, but 2 candy buckets, so twice the amount of candy, 1 savory, 1 sweet. So you got the chocolate candy bucket.
That's not what that means.
And I know, shut up. And then you got the sweet candy bucket, which is the Skittles and the Starburst and the I got Sour Patch Kids. And this is the thing. So Sam, in the middle of me choosing what I wanted, Sam said, I'm working on a theory here. I said, what's your theory, Sam? Which Sam is one of the great communications folks for TGL that helps us out getting credentialed and whatnot. She said, I think that for our nighttime TGL matches, people will go for the chocolate candies more. And for the daytime or the earlier matches, people reach for the sweets ones, the artificially, what do you call it?
So I think you just got to delineate
the
candy
fruits.
and chocolate.
Yeah.
Candy is your Sour Patch Kids.
Right.
Chocolate is your Snickers.
Okay. So there's a chocolate cup and then there's a candy cup, and the candy cup, which is all the assorted fruits and whatnot,
the gummies, yeah,
gummies. So she was like, I'm working theory here. People go for the daytime, you go for the candy one, and nighttime people go for the chocolates. I said that kind of feels right because I didn't even hesitate. Every time I've gone to TGL last year, it was a Milky Way's my number 1 chocolate candy. I would reach for it. It was a joy. Loved it. Today, the Milky Ways are right there staring me in the face. But I kind of had that guided eye over to the sweets over here, the candies, and I went and got me a Sour Patch Kid, and I got lost in that conversation a little bit. Then I turned around in the media center. I'm like, Sam, I got to get back to the show. I turn around. I see the new and improved coffee center. Last year we had like a freaking Keurig. We had like a half-assed Keurig in there, which we had to line up behind each other and figure it out. This year, industrial coffee maker in there where you can get lattes, espressos, double espressos. So then I'm like, I got to try the latte out. I know it's going to take a little longer to make, but it's my first experience with the new coffee machine. So then I make the latte, and as I'm making the latte, I get your text, and you're like, hey, where are you at? And I said, damn it, I'm rushing back right now. I lied to you. The latte wasn't done being made. I had to wait for the latte to finish being made, and then I rushed back. And on my way back, I ran into a couple people as well, and then here I am.
During our extraordinarily long break, I played a little bit of cornhole. So
you did? Oh,
yeah.
so you was kind of.
I have a new strategy when I play cornhole. I don't know if these boards are necessarily regulation in distance apart.
Very short.
So I'm able to whoop anybody's tail with my advantage taken by the close distance. The close proximity of board, I'm not going to tell you. You'll see it when it happens, and you'll be behind. Yeah, I go overhand.
That's mine.
A little shot put.
That's mine. I do a jump shot.
All right, that
flick of the wrist. I do a jump shot.
I kind of use a step forward, so I'm a right-hander.
Yeah,
right foot back, left foot forward, step forward, and shot put. And I was going hole.
Yeah,
I put the hole in cornhole.
This. Okay.
What, you bring the corn? What are you going to say?
I'll put the corn in the hole. It's usually what you want to do. Oh, wow, that's a little freaky. I will say that the distance of these cornhole stands are literally probably half the distance of regulation cornhole.
Well, check. You can probably move if you want to, but this is good for all ages. That's the thing.
That's what they
You
want
bring
it for.
kids to play cornhole, and they can't reach regulation cornhole.
They can't. No, they can't.
They couldn't even begin.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Not like how you can.
Yeah, exactly. I've got good range, so I'll take advantage of that.
So tonight at TGL, Boston Common Golf against the LA Golf Club, which I've told people time and time again, LA Golf Club has the best branding in TGL, so that is the one you want to rock with. And you have you have a full TGL Yeti here.
Yeah,
it's immaculate.
On opening night, I had our ESPN West Palm reporter, Cade Chumsland, pick me up the 2025, or no, it's 2026.
It is 26.
TGL season Yeti, so I have that using as a paperweight right now for everything you have going on. And so I told you, I teased this before we went into this hour, that Boston Common Golf has 3 members playing tonight. Of course, you know them, you love them. Rory McIlroy is one of them playing tonight. And then you have Keegan Bradley. Of course, Captain Keegan. No, Bethpage didn't go how he wanted it to in between TGL seasons, but he's a fan favorite, Keegan Bradley. And we have a 3rd member of Boston Common Golf taking the stage at the SoFi Center tonight. His first name is Michael, and his last name is spelled THORBJORNSEN, which Theo would like to break the news that Michael
Thorbjornsson.
Thorbjornsson?
Yeah, Thorbjornsson.
All right. Which one are you sticking with?
I'm going with Michael Thorbjornsson.
Incorrect. It's close. Thorbjornsson.
Thorbjorn. Oh, the J is a Y.
Yeah,
that makes a lot more sense.
Exactly like
Thorbjornsson.
I think
That's hard,
if you've had kids before, which you don't, there's such thing as a baby Bjorn, and that's what that word that word is pronounced, if you would.
Okay,
Bjorn.
Thorbjornsson. I like that.
Thorbjornsson.
Thorbjornsson.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good. It's
So
actually way
that'd be
easier than I thought it was going to be.
Exactly.
I made it hard.
When you look up pronunciation guides, it makes it look more difficult than it is.
Yeah.
You ever seen that? Like where they break this down to a bunch of different O.
It's worse.
Yeah, it's
unless
harder.
you study that and you learn that it's a foreign language, the pronunciation guide.
And the LA Golf Club is Justin Rose, man, the runner-up in the Masters. He played Rory 272 holes and went 2 extra holes in Augusta last year. It's Justin Rose, Colin Morikawa, and Sahith Theegala, who was a free agent who joined LA Golf Club for a match last year, and he looks to be a full-time member of that LA Golf Club.
I thought he played more than one match.
Maybe 2 or 3. I don't know. He was a mid-season acquisition for LA Golf Club.
He was their best throughout the end.
Yeah, he's really good. He's got a really, really good drive off the tee. He's a funny guy. He recorded a couple of videos in the TGL offseason, one of which was with Barstool's golf team, 4Play Golf here at the SoFi Center.
Yeah.
He's a really nice guy. So it's Sahith Theegala, Justin Rose, Colin Morikawa versus Rory McIlroy, Keegan Bradley, Michael Thorbjornsson.
Thorbjornsson. I will say I got to have the LA Golf Club as my favorite club this year officially. Last year it was the Jupiter Lynx because I was a hometown guy. Want to roll with the Lynx. Want to roll with Tiger. This year, but I've been saying since it started, the best branding is the LA Golf Club. I love the LA emblem, the logo. I love the black and white. It's so crisp and pristine, and they don't short you. Like, that's one thing that people don't understand about TGL. We're in Palm Beach County, people. We got Tiger Woods and Rory right here. We got a lot of money being poured into this thing. It's ESPN2 tonight. We're not talking about this being on, like, the Ocho. This is big-time golf here. This is big-time sports. A lot of money being pumped in. They don't short you on the quality of the goods here at TGL. So when you get these quality gear like the Yetis, or you come to the golf shop here at TGL and shop for branded stuff, all of it looks good and it's crisp and it's pristine and it's high quality. The LA Golf Club stuff just looks it's sexy. The LA Golf Club logo and the emblem and the team and the aura around it, it yells sexy, classy.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Theo's got to change his pants.
New for some LA Golf Club pants.
New to TGL Season 2. If you've watched it on TV, you're able – all the players are mic'd up. So you hear the trash talk, the strategy, all of that on TV.
Yeah.
They talk with Matt Berry on the broadcast sometimes. And now if you buy a ticket and you're actually in the SoFi Center, unlike last year, you will hear all of the banter between the players. They're handing out headphones from Farmers Insurance, courtesy of Farmers Insurance. They're giving you these earbuds. And you just put them in, connect them to your phone, and now you get to listen to Rory McIlroy and Justin Rose chop it up in the first major time as adversaries since that Masters. On a really one-on-one basis.
Yeah.
Of course, they were teammates on Team Europe in the Ryder Cup. So you're going to see Keegan versus Justin Rose, first time they're major adversaries since the Ryder Cup. It's going to be really fun. And you can listen to all of the trash talk while you're in the arena.
Dog, these are wireless earbuds.
Yeah.
They're not, this is what I'm saying, everything, this is quality stuff. You pay for that price of admission, you're going to watch top flight golfers right in front of your face that you can heckle, that you can yell at, or you can cheer for. They want either or. They want the noise. They want the rowdiness. They want the fun to be packed into this thing. You might end up being shown on ESPN2 because this thing is broadcast nationally to everybody. It's right here in our backyard at Palm Beach Gardens, but also you literally get not some airplane headphones, but you literally get you some wireless dual earbuds is what they would call it, courtesy of Farmers Insurance, which is absolutely impeccable. And that does make a lot of the difference because last year you couldn't hear any of the banter. This year you can be in the environment and hear the banter. So maybe when you heckle somebody, you can hear them say something about you under their breath.
It's like, yeah, that guy's bad. Or that guy's ugly in the front row. He's
ugly
like,
ass dude in the red shirt talking crap.
That would be cool.
That would be great. That would be great. That would be great.
So that's all the TGL Season 2 improvements. It should be a fun time. All season long, really. We started the show talking about the college football playoff and the quarterfinals that took place over the past couple of days. I'm okay with how things have gone in terms of good game versus bad game because we've pretty much had a coin flip. We had half good games, half bad games.
Yeah.
We had bad group of 5 games. Those 2 games
those are the worst games.
Those are the worst games. The Texas A&M Miami game was really good. What was the first round game?
There was
on campus.
No.
Wait a second.
Now I'm getting lost. Ole Miss played JMU, Tulane, Oregon.
You had flipped.
Flipped those, yeah. I mean, they both got steamrolled.
How did Ohio State get here? They had a bye.
Ohio State had a bye.
They had a bye.
Now I'm getting lost. Georgia had a bye.
Did Georgia have a bye? Yeah, Georgia had a bye.
And now I'm extremely lost right now.
The other first round game.
Ole Miss, Miami. Who won the first round games? Ole Miss. Damn it. This is Oregon. No.
We have Miami, Texas A&M. That's the other good game in the first round. And now I'm looking it up.
I don't have any clue.
Oh, we had the Bama-Oklahoma game.
Oh,
that was
it was the first game. It was Friday night.
It was the first game Friday night. So those were 2 good games, 2 bad games in the first round.
Yeah.
In the second round, in the quarterfinals, we had 2 good games. Last night's game was electric. It was fun between Georgia and Ole Miss. The Miami-Ohio State game was a good game. And then we had 2 blowouts, which you put Alabama in a game against Indiana, and you say blowout 3 years ago, you think it'd blow out in a different way.
Yeah.
Indiana just swept the floor with Alabama in the Rose Bowl.
Can I say something about those blowouts, though?
Yes.
The Rose Bowl blowout and the Capital One Orange Bowl blowout, they still were kind of entertaining blowouts. They weren't; those were not boring games.
I took another nap during the end of the Rose Bowl.
Rose Bowl was more boring than the Orange Bowl, but what I'll say is like the theater of it all and the fun of it all, similar to that national championship game when Clemson blew out Bama. There's something about
a statement was being made.
Yes,
that's true. Yes, yeah. Like this, it was very significant that blowout was happening in the Rose Bowl.
If it was the other way around and Bama was doing it, wouldn't have been as fun. But something about seeing Indiana,
that's true.
With that quarterback and Fernando Mendoza, and that defensive line, to see an Indiana team dominate Bama in the trenches on both sides. Having Ty Simpson running for his life the whole game, and to see Indiana comfortably moving the ball against them over and over, to see when
Cignetti?
the board, when the board tried to go for it on 4th down, and seeing Cignetti with his eyebrows raised, scowling, because it's new. There's the newness of Indiana creeping into the national scene that I think, like I was entertained by most of that game. The Orange Bowl, I would say. It was weird.
The action lacked. It was close.
There were some
for
big
the first
defensive
half.
plays, though. There were some exciting defensive plays because I was there
Texas
for
Tech
the
was
first
such
half.
a bend but not break the entire first half.
They were good. That's the weird thing about Texas Tech losing to Oregon in the way that they did is I know they won't be shaken by this because they got a billionaire pumping money in, and they'll just keep refueling, and they'll be good every year. They'll be back. It takes away from how good that team was. They just didn't. They had poor offensive execution in the worst time possible, and really that was because Oregon's defense was better than what I anticipated them being. Texas Tech's defense was real deal. Like Oregon had to work, fight, and claw for everything they got offensively, and oftentimes they were put into good situations because of turnovers or whatnot that their defense created. They just had a stinker of an offensive performance at the worst time possible, which I hate because it derails everything that Texas Tech did this year.
Yeah, you know what? I think you have a point. I would have liked to see a little bit more offense, except for one touchdown, 2 touchdowns scored in that game.
But they were like nice. They were like entertaining sacks. They were entertaining defensive blowups. There were fumbles forced. There were like interceptions. Like, so put it to you like this, because I was there for the first half, had to leave at the half. Wife was like, let's get out. I said, yes, ma'am. But there were like 4 or 5 different times where there was an audience pop, like a loud audience pop and a roar because there were immaculate special plays being had. It was not like one of those, 16-10 games or 16-0 games where it's like boring 3 yards in a cloud of dust stuff. Like there were big plays being had. It just was mostly defensive plays.
Okay, so the ratio of good games to bad games.
I've enjoyed this.
There's some in between, so you know what, that's
all
fair.
Of this.
But thumbs up, thumbs down scale. You gave 4 thumbs up for every game that we had in the quarterfinals.
I thoroughly enjoyed all of these games. Because also the other part of the Bama-Indiana game was we just saw Bama down by 17 against Oklahoma and come back. So there was that lingering thought that could they do it again? Could they bounce back in the same way they did in the first round? So I would say I thoroughly enjoyed all 4 of the quarterfinal games. I would say that I knew to ignore the 2 opening round games against the G5 schools. So it didn't hurt me at all that those weren't compelling games.
You weren't let down at all.
Yeah, like
we kind of knew it.
We knew
and
what it was.
And we had pro football going head to head.
That wasn't like Thursday Night Football, Bo Nix versus Spencer Rattler, right? Like it wasn't like I wasn't forced to even watch it. So what I will say is I actually have not been let down by any college football game in these playoffs yet. Okay. I've actually enjoyed all of them.
That's nice. That's good.
Yeah.
I was okay with a 50-50 split on good game, bad game because that is what the college football playoff has been when it was just 4 teams.
That's true.
Like we would have a lot of eggs in 3 baskets, and we had 2 hands. We would never get 3 great games in the 4-team playoff. We would never.
No.
So we were lucky if we got 1. It was blowout city when it was 1v4 and 2v3, and then whatever national championship game we got. I don't think we ever got 3 great games when it was a 4-team playoff. And now we're just getting more opportunities for more moments being made with more attendees to the party.
Yeah, and now we're down to 3 games again, down to 4 teams again, Miami versus Ole Miss in Glendale, and then you have a rematch of 2 Big Ten opponents in Indiana versus Oregon. As much as a homer Miami Hurricane fan as I am, I will say that the game that should end up being more compelling and the game that has more storyline data points, because I think it's going to be Indiana-Oregon. Really? You have a battle of the 2 quarterbacks. We did. And, I think we're going to get a different rendition this time around. We also saw Ole Miss, Georgia earlier this year.
True, yeah.
And Ole Miss came back and gave us an exciting comeback win against Georgia last night. But I say that to say Indiana-Oregon is going to give us the top 2 quarterbacks in this next NFL drafts, and Fernando Mendoza and Dante Moore. It's going to give us – Oregon has all of its playmakers and weapons back, so that offense I think is actually better than what we saw earlier in the year against Indiana. And I think it also is going to give us who the public or the nation assumes is the favorite to win the national champion versus Miami Ole Miss. I don't expect it, especially based off what I saw Miami do to Ohio State and Texas A&M. I kind of expect Miami to walk away with it, which I don't want to feel too overconfident. I know the line is only 2.5. That's probably a more respectable line. That is a more conservative line. I wonder which way it moves before Thursday. I kind of expect Miami to at least win comfortably. I don't know what I'm going to get out of Indiana-Oregon, though.
Yeah. And you think that Indiana-Oregon is going to give you the favorite in the national championship game?
They are. The winner of that game is going to be the favorite.
I don't think so. I don't think it's a guarantee. I think Indiana would be favored over Miami. I think that Miami would be favored over Oregon, or at least that game would be a razor-thin pick'em.
Yeah, that's a lot. There are 3 elite defenses left in the CFB 12-team playoff here.
Yes.
And then there's Ole Miss.
And the fact that we saw what breeds me confidence, and I'm sure it does for you as well, is see how well coached and well game managed. You mentioned it from Carson Beck, but game managed by Mario Cristobal, the end of the Ohio State game was. Because you need to have all of your ducks in a row to take down a team like Ohio State. And the way they slowly, methodically ran the football down Ohio State's throat, on third down, a couple of big completions, a good scramble from Carson Beck, but it was very well game managed. Not too many chances taken when they were unnecessary because he had trust in the talent that was on that roster. I thought it was very confidence instilling in Mario Cristobal, as if you weren't confident going into that game after the A&M win. There is no question about who is leading that team when it comes from a game management perspective, because the recruiting speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And the prospects speak for themselves. But as a Penn State football fan, I can tell you that game management and program building, 2 very different things, and you got to have both to have a championship team.
You take any chance you have to take a shot at James Franklin.
But that's a scary liability to have.
It is.
It's a terrifying liability. It's equally as scary when you have a liability at quarterback.
That was Mario Cristobal just last year.
Exactly.
That's been Mario Cristobal's first 4 years at Miami. So I know where you're coming from, but I do have a renewed faith in this program and a renewed faith in the players on that field and the coaching staff, including Corey Heatherman, who's the defensive coordinator, who's been scheming up a lot of this great stuff. But I will be on the move to go to Glendale to see the Fiesta Bowl, and I am not taking my home there. I'm just taking my talents there to watch a good football game. If you are gearing up for a big move, if you got that new job, if you just got into a new school, grad school, and you want to pick up things and go, the perfect people to go with is Safebound Moving and Storage. Safebound Moving and Storage, they are based in West Palm Beach, Florida. They are family-owned. They are a trained team of experts, and they can help you with your move, because you're trying to do the move on your own is going to be excruciating. It is going to be difficult. It is not going to be easy. SafeboundMoving.com. That's easy. It's a website you can easily remember. SafeboundMoving.com. Safebound Moving and Storage. They are based in West Palm. They service all of the Sunshine State. So whether you're moving into Florida, out of Florida, or within state lines, SafeboundMoving.com is the place to go with. They helped my younger sister get from South Florida to the Peach State, and she loved the service they provide. She loved not having to break a fingernail on trying to move couches and play Tetris, getting in and out of her apartment in the moving trucks. No. You call up the pros. They get the job done for you. And maybe you just need storage needs. Maybe you're not moving. Maybe you need storage. Your catch-all room is now being filled up. Your family is growing, and you can't use that room as a storage anymore. You need a real storage. SafeboundMoving.com. They have your moving and storage needs all in one. SafeboundMoving.com. On the other side, TGL preview and more from who the actual top story would be if they are claimed as the national championship in Miami on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Who would be the best story to be raising the trophy? We'll discuss that and more on the other side here on Theoretically Speaking. That's C-Katt. I'm Theo Dorsey. We are Theoretically Speaking from the SoFi Center on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University. University.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight and your stress light. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
Colin, have you checked out Vitacost Sport Certified Marketplace?
Vitacost? I love Vitacost!
Right? It's a full online sports marketplace. Over 500 performance products from trusted brands like Vega, Thorne, Vital Proteins, and Muscle Milk, all free from banned substances.
So no guessing, no label scrubbing, just clean fuel to train harder and recover smarter.
You got it. And don't forget, save 20% with code ESPN20 at sportcertified.com.
Fuel clean, train smarter. Try Sports Certified by Vitacost today.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and I'm dropping the gloves. Your new home for the back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers is ESPN 106.3. Tonight, Original 6 Energy meets South Florida Swagger as the Rangers take on the Panthers. Coverage at 7:30 here on ESPN 106.3.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWestPalmContests.com.
That's ESPNWestPalmContests.com.
Long ago, the seas be whispering tales of the lost loot. A treasure so rare it shows itself but once each turn of the sun. All this searching, and I found it. Publix, this be where X marks the spot?
Discounted tickets, limited time.
South Florida Fair discount tickets are on sale now at Publix and online at southfloridafair.com. Advance tickets can save you more than half, so get them before they vanish on January 15th.
Limited time deal.
As teams battle for a chance at the title, make sure your home is ready for every unforgettable moment. EDS Air Conditioning keeps your comfort championship caliber. Right now, qualified customers can score 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC unit. The heat belongs on the field, not inside your home. With more than 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS has been delivering national championship service since 2006. Visit EDSIsYes.com today and enjoy the run to a national title.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and I...
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manzo's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manzo's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
We also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
Time now for the coolest moment of the week. Presented by EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. EDS is yes.
11 minutes and 49 seconds to go in the second quarter. Miami up 7-zip. Julian Sayin and the Ohio State Buckeyes trying to drive the football and answer the initial touchdown of the game, and then this happened.
After the loss of 6, another pass play that's intercepted. Taking it back is Keontae Scott. He'll go all the way. Touchdown, Miami. A 70-yard pick six of Julian Sayin.
That call courtesy of ESPN, a 72-yard pick six to be exact. Keontae Scott to the crib. Miami goes up 14-zip. They never trailed in this one. They go on to win it 24-14, marching on to Glendale, Arizona, marching on to the Fiesta Bowl, beating Ohio State, the team that beat them in the Fiesta Bowl 23 years ago in the national championship game, which I still claim was stolen from Miami with that flag on pass interference. And that, my friends, is the EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing coolest moment of the week. An amazing play that helped cement a euphoric victory for the Miami Hurricanes, officially sealing the deal that the U is back, C-Katt.
So, did you know, because I didn't know this, in 2019, Keontae Scott, who had that pick six in the quarterfinal game against Ohio State's quarterback Julian Sayin, in 2019, the very same, Keontae Scott picked off Julian Sayin's brother Aiden Sayin and returned it for a touchdown in the Open Division Finals, whatever that is. It's like a low end, or
high school football
or something.
Yeah,
that's a while ago. But yeah, I'm looking at the video right now.
Crazy.
So Keontae Scott is not an ally
out in
of
California.
the Sayin household.
San Diego, California. So I would. That's ironic. That is crazy. Actually, that's actually like he haunts that household for years to come. Also, did you hear the anecdote from Alabama v. Indiana that the last time a pair of brothers, Fernando Mendoza and his little brother, younger man Mendoza, a pair of brothers threw a touchdown in a game?
Yeah, he's the backup.
Fernando Mendoza's little brother is the backup for Indiana. Did he eventually throw that touchdown? They were talking about how it hadn't happened, two brothers throwing a touchdown in the same game since about a decade or so ago. And the game in which that happened, the players that were brothers that did it, they are the coach of that team was the father of Alabama quarterback.
Okay. Ty Simpson?
Ty Simpson, yes.
Well,
his father coached the last team to have two quarterbacks who were brothers throw a touchdown in the same game.
Younger Mendoza did not get into the game.
He did.
Or he didn't throw a pass.
He didn't. Oh, yeah, they ran it all the way down.
Alberto Mendoza never attempted a pass in the Alabama shellacking from Indiana.
They scored a touchdown on that drive, but it was a handoff. Yeah. That's what it was. So that would have been the first time since I forget the dang stat, but I did know that it was Ty Simpson's dad. So
I think we're both really good at knowing stats exist, but not able to recall or write it down in the moment, the actual stat. And have a detail here or there, just incredible.
Yeah. You know what? The good people don't come to Theoretically Speaking to necessarily get smarter. They just come to get entertained. So
they come to TGL to get entertained. We're going to be here tonight. It's going to be a fun time.
Sure, it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great time tonight. Boston Common Golf versus the LA Golf Club, my favorite team.
Okay, so we broke down early in the show the plethora of reasons why Miami was going to be a fantastic story already. And if they were to be crowned national champions, which we don't get ahead of ourselves, 2 games to go, but that might be the greatest story to possibly happen out of these 4 teams.
Yeah.
And then you got 3 other options there. Oregon, then you've got Indiana, and then you've got Ole Miss, who we saw last night, the whole Lane Kiffin situation.
Yeah.
Those are the other 3 options for maybe either a greater story than Miami winning a national championship or at least second fiddle to Miami. Those are the options presented.
I think, and this is coming from a Miami Hurricane fan, who would love to see the Canes win, and it would be a historic story. The fact that they got through Ohio State en route to this championship and that they get to do it at home would be incredible, an incredible way to cement the fact that the U is back. I still think that Ole Miss winning the national championship would be the biggest story of this Final Four. When you look at the turmoil that they've been through from even before they kicked off the damn Egg Bowl. We've been knowing that Lane Kiffin was going to either LSU or Florida since before they played against their most fierce rival, Mississippi State, in the Egg Bowl. And then we hear about the ultimatum that the Ole Miss staffers gave Lane Kiffin. And then we get the scandals that come out from Ole Miss as Lane Kiffin makes his decision to go to LSU. And now we got student body, members and girls out of yoga classes calling him out for stuff that he was getting into. We have players barking on social media about him abandoning them. We got the weird Lane Kiffin and what was it, Marty interview on ESPN.
Yeah, Marty Smith.
On the tarmac out there. You have like all of this, colliding at the same time while Ole Miss is then marching into the college football 12-team playoff. Then you had all of the doubt. Everybody's like, well, they can't win now that Lane Kiffin's gone. There were serious conversations about should Ole Miss be left out, just like with Miami. Should they be left out because now they don't have their head coach?
Or just like Florida State out of the 14 playoff.
Yeah, exactly.
Losing your quarterback, a head coach is a pretty important component and a cog and a reason why they were there.
Yes, there were arguments being made that Ole Miss should now be left out because we don't know what they would be with Lane Kiffin no longer on the sideline. Then you bake into the fact that Lane Kiffin not only is at LSU bringing in one of the top recruiting classes, getting ready to gear up for a big season for the Tigers, he also is getting paid for every win that Ole Miss gets. He also, like when Ole Miss won last night against Georgia, Lane Kiffin pocketed another $1.5 million, not from Ole Miss, but from LSU, who agreed to honor the contract incentives that Lane Kiffin had at Ole Miss and pay him for the playoff wins. So you bake all of that into the fact that they also have Trinidad Chambliss, who looked like some kind of machination of Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson last night, scampering around, scrambling, finding guys, big arm, layers throws like a freaking genius. That's your quarterback, but he wasn't even your quarterback. This is your backup quarterback that you're winning games with because Austin Simmons from Pahokee was your quarterback, but he got injured in like the second game of the season. And then like, who the hell is Trinidad Chambliss? Oh, he's this 23-year-old dude who last year won a national championship at Ferris State. A Division II quarterback is leading your team. You are an afterthought in your own conference. You are a school that nobody picked to win the national championship or even get there because we assumed even if you get through the first round, you're going to get steamrolled going forward. But they've won, and they have a chance against Miami. Ole Miss is clear-cut the best story in this 12-team playoff. And I haven't even gotten to the fact that they might be coaching. If they do get past Miami, they might be coaching without their assistants because those dudes are technically going to have to go to their new schools because the transfer portal now open today. Like, that is a hodgepodge of a Netflix docuseries that will go, like, absolutely nuclear.
And it's one thing just to have the facts as you laid them out and the off the field as you laid them out. But the last taste in our mouth from the college football playoff quarterfinals was last night's rematch in the SEC of Georgia versus Ole Miss. I watched the first half in a sports bar. It was nuts. I watched the second half in bed as I was trying to fight off unconsciousness because I was so tired. And then plays like this happened to seal the win for Ole Miss. Let us hear it.
For the Rebels, the program that stayed together when it could have fallen apart. Landon Roldan, they're going to try to run some trick plays. That's a free ball. Bounding toward the sideline. The game is over. Officials signaling a safety on the last play of the game. That doesn't matter.
Well, that was weird, too. A safety that bounced off the pylon. It was ridiculous. But there was a throw that he made down the sideline to ice the not to ice the game, but to really win that game.
Oh, Trinidad Chambliss. For a slot, it was a slot fade, pretty much. And
yeah,
okay.
And this is what that sounded like.
Kicker. Chambliss lobbing it up behind the defense. Dejan Stribling tackled from behind by DeMello Jones at the 30. What a call by Charlie Weiss.
Gutsy throw.
It was a
gutsy
throw. Yeah. Oh, and he got open, though. Like I don't think it took a perfect throw for that play to be completed with that receiver. I forgot he just told you who it was, but made the move on the DB. The story's crazy, but the action was also crazy.
The action has been crazy.
A snoozer in the first round, whatever. Group 5 opponent, Tulane rematch, who cares? Last night's game was awesome.
It was fun. It was awesome. Chambliss literally is improving his draft stock as we speak. He right now, there's another layer to this story. Trinidad Chambliss, the quarterback from the D2 school who's now the leader of Ole Miss, he's also in the midst of a waiver war with the NCAA to try to get one more year of eligibility because he had some kind of weird redshirt situation happen a couple of years back at Ferris State. So he's trying to decide whether he's going to declare for the draft or come back and play another season for Ole Miss.
Yeah.
It's getting crazy.
And I talked to you about this before the show. I have a theory that Trinidad Chambliss, if he's granted another year of eligibility, the quarterback for Ole Miss, who lit it up last night, if he does return to college football, he might be going to LSU.
He should. He probably should.
He might be going to LSU.
I hate to say it, but he probably should.
Because you told me that he went to Ole Miss for Lane Kiffin, right?
Yeah, he did. He went to Ole Miss thinking he'd be a backup for a year, get a couple of snaps here and there, learn from Lane Kiffin, and then maybe either get an eligibility to come back or to move on and be done with football. No. He's now the guy, and he's one of the 4 quarterbacks left, and he could be in Baton Rouge. You know how pissed Ole Miss fans will be.
All right, if he wins them a national championship, which you are alleging,
then he's
and
good.
I'm not sure if I agree with you yet. If Ole Miss wins a national championship with Trinidad Chambliss as their quarterback, would they be angry if he leaves?
No.
But
they will be
for
hurt,
LSU.
They'll be scorned. They would be angry. Yeah, they'll be angry.
For
They'll be
LSU,
angry.
yeah, I think if he left, it would be a weird situation if he left for anywhere else.
He would leave for LSU, but here's what I would say. If you're Trinidad Chambliss and you win a national championship with Ole Miss, I think you stay. I think not because you think you can win another natty the next year. They're going to build a statue of Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah, that's true.
At Ole Miss. If he wins a national title this year, then stays and makes this huge press conference, like has a Tim Tebow-esque moment of, we're going to come back, we're going to be better. Yeah, he can become a folklore hero. With a name like that and with a game like that, no matter what they do, they can go 8-5 next year. They're building a Trinidad Chambliss statue. If he goes to LSU, the expectations are championship or bust, and if you don't, then you're just looked at as just another guy. So that's why I think that Ole Miss is the biggest story. We'll talk more of that and more here on Theoretically Speaking, but we've got to go to a quick break here ahead of what is going to be another match of Season 2 TGL. That's C-Katt. I'm Theo Dorsey. We are Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Colin, have you checked out Vitacost Sport Certified Marketplace?
Vitacost? I love Vitacost!
Right? It's a full online sports marketplace. Over 500 performance products from trusted brands like Vega, Thorne, Vital Proteins, and Muscle Milk, all free from banned substances.
So no guessing, no label scrubbing, just clean fuel to train harder and recover smarter.
You got it. And don't forget, save 20% with code ESPN20 at sportcertified.com.
Fuel clean, train smarter. Try Sports Certified by Vitacost today.
You've seen the PGA Tour's best on the course, but in the arena, it's prime time. Season 2 of TGL presented by SoFi is back. With big moments, big personalities, non-stop action on the big screen. Shot clocks, hammer drops, timeouts, and overtime. Tickets are on sale now, but availability is limited. Visit TGLGolf.com to get your tickets while they last. TGL presented by SoFi. Keep up. It's golf.
Hey, it's Theo, and let's be real, moving sucks. Boxes, packing, all that stress, who's got time for it? That's why there's Safebound Moving and Storage. We handle everything. Whether you're moving local or long distance, we offer a headache-free experience, just the way moving should be. Get your free quote today at safeboundmoving.com, because every move should feel safe with Safebound.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
My leg! I am not angry. I am in pain. My leg!
Time now for an injury report.
My head and torso!
Wow, that's crazy. They hit me everywhere except
my legs!
Presented by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Go where the pros go.
My leg!
And the Baptist Health Orthopedic Care injury report on this Friday, January the 2nd, is the Ohio State football team, the fan base, the whole state, because it seems after what the Miami Hurricanes did to them, 24-14 win, what Michael Irvin did to them with his belt to that rear end, they seem a little butthurt, C-Katt.
Yeah, Ray Lewis was on the sideline for that game. That was fun to see, too.
Yeah, that's intense.
Positive juju, positive good vibes in the air for my Baltimore Ravens on Sunday as well. And if you want to see just how hurt Ohio State fans are, you can go to YouTube, ESPN South Florida, and just look at the most recent video where you hear Theo Dorsey, Mike Rizzo going at it at yesterday's Capital One Orange Bowl, where we phoned in Mike Rizzo. We got him virtually from his abode in Ohio State, in Ohio, the state, after he was recovering from that loss. Ohio State fans are butthurt for sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it, though, man. You know, growing up, every now and then when you came home and you knew you did wrong at school and you knew you were being a little mischievous and you knew that, well, maybe you stole the history of your programs, you stole the national championship away from the rightful owners of Miami. You knew when you got home and your pops pulled that belt off, it was going to be some trouble. And that's what Ohio State got. And I honor them for taking it humbly. I honor our guy Mike Rizzo, who was out of town but called in to our show yesterday from the Capital One Orange Bowl, and he was very modest, and he was he succumbed to the injuries that they got via the belt. He didn't like the way that I appreciated the win, but I honor them in that. But I will say it's been 23 years, and I couldn't wait to have this moment, and I couldn't wait to see Michael Irvin whip that belt out and tether that ass.
Hey, you know what? Those fans in Ohio, they saw the Browns win.
They did see the Browns win.
They saw the Browns beat the Steelers last weekend. They're okay.
And you just got a national championship. You could take that belt a little bit. You earned it.
Did the Bengals win last weekend too, or no? I forget what happened.
No, the Bengals lost to the Dolphins of all teams.
Oh.
Yeah, remember that? That was pretty rough.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was
the Buccaneers lost to the Dolphins. They beat the
I don't know. Who knows? You know what? If you want to know more about that, you know who's like a computer or whiz kid with all of these things. He probably remember who won in 1987 between the Bengals and the Dolphins. That's Colin Russo. He's going to be pulling up next. Russo and Rizzo right here from SoFi Center at TGL. So stay tapped in here on ESPN South Florida. That's C-Katt. I'm Theo Dorsey. Go in love, go in peace, go in joy.
Hey everybody, it's Cade Chumsland. Every week, Land Rover Palm Beach supports local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community by naming a Player of the Week.